Could you look yourself in the mirror and say, I love myself? Well, I can. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Abigail Shanga and today we're going to be talking about self-love. But before we get into it, guys, why haven't you subscribed to my channel? I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds to do that. Done? I hope you're done. Before I start and tell you all about self-love, if those who follow me on Instagram have seen that I want to start a 30-day challenge with my posture corrector. Firstly, I don't know if you guys have realized, but I've got like bad posture and I know something that could fix it. I'm going to be going on a 30-day challenge to like kind of like try to fix that. So I got myself the posture corrector. I got it from Take a Lot. It's written posture corrector, clavicle fracture, back shoulder correction brace. So it comes in a package like this. Like this looks like hair. It comes in a package like this. It's black in color. So it's actually great. It comes like this. Then I think you wear it like this. I'm gonna be showing you guys like this, and then you bring this up, and then voila. And then apparently you don't have to feel as if like it's too much or whatnot. You just have to like make sure that it works for you. You can wear it under your top when you go to work, but I'm gonna be wearing it for like 2 hours a day when I do my exercises. So if you want to see more of this, you can go to my Instagram account at Longobozi. I'm gonna be posting it on my Facebook account at Abigail Busisiwe. I won't be posting it on Twitter, but you can also follow me on Twitter at Longobozi or Snapchat at Longobozi. So now that's done, let's get into it. So I've got a question that I think like would speed up the process of getting to know yourself. So what defines you as a person? Okay, maybe it's a bit complicated to answer, but think about it. What makes you you? Normally when we ask that question, we define ourselves and say, yeah, I've got 1,000 million, I've got a great body, no. That's going about it wrong. We normally define ourselves based on what people say about us or what people think about us. But is that like really what we should be doing? So normally I've looked at cover magazines. Let's take one for instance, Playboy, right? I know most of us like look up to that. And if you're in South Africa, take a look at something like I don't know, True Love. Like these girls look amazing. These celebrities look amazing. They look like they've got no cellulites, nothing at all. They look perfect skin, perfect. You know, the moment you look at a picture and say, oh, wow, I wish I could have like a killer body like that. That's where you go wrong. That's where it starts. That's when you decrease the self-love that you have. We all have different bodies and shapes. I don't have a perfect body. I don't have a perfect body. I've got cellulite, I've grown. I don't have kids yet, but I know I've got a lot going on in my body, especially now that I'm gaining weight. I don't really understand what's happening to me. I can't even stop it. I've tried exercising, I've tried everything, but they just don't seem to go away. And on TV they tell us, hey, you can use this cream helps. I wouldn't do that if I were you. okay, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look pretty. There's nothing wrong with trying to color with makeup and whatnot. But the moment you start using cream, that's you confusing yourself. What do you want? What exactly do you want? Do you want to be light? Do you want to remove those? Those are a way of showing you that you're growing, and I mean growing. Like, I don't understand why we have to like go through all the trouble of excuse my lighting, I'm using like natural lighting, so I don't know what's happening with the weather in South Africa. So as I was saying, like, I don't understand why we have to like be all, I want to be like this, deprive yourself of food. The way I love food, I think the reason I don't get results when I'm exercising is because I eat and exercise, and that doesn't really help me in any way, believe me. I don't get it. So the comparing yourself to other people, that's when you decrease your self-love for yourself. Oh, sorry. That's when you decrease your self-love. I mean, you should be great with what you look at, be it big, small, okay, not big, but like chubby, embrace that. It's you, especially if in your family you're all chubby. Why would you want to be skinny? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being extraordinary, but come on, that's just not how it works. You start taking pills to a point whereby you don't eat, you don't eat at all. I'm not talking about those who are painting, there's a difference. You deprive yourself of food, period. That's when everything goes south. Like, your body needs all of those nutrients, and even if it's not sufficient enough, but like enough to help, because eventually you'll get weak. We don't need such drama in our lives. So I often like had conflicts with myself, especially back in high school. I think when I was in grade 8, it was like 2011 if I'm not mistaken. I had conflicts with myself, not with anybody else, mind you, with myself, my own self, to a point where I used to ask myself, why did you say something like that? And I was like, that's stupid. Then my other voice would be like, oh, but like I said it anyway, so how do we fix it? And I'd have conflict, like it's like talking to myself. And like, I don't understand why we do that, but I'd watch cartoons when I was young. So there was a time whereby like the person is just inside and there are two people talking. So, but like I was the one talking. I was the one I would be like, you know what, person, what you did was stupid. You're not pretty enough to be in that group. You can't sing. Why are you going there? You're academically challenged. Why are you doing this? So negative self-talks, oh sorry, negative self-talk contributes. It's a big factor to killing your confidence, your self-esteem, and everything and more. The moment you start saying, I can't get an A, because who are you to get an A? I mean, you've never gotten an A. What if that time was the time to get the A? What if that time was the time to get from being a C to being a B? That's an improvement. It's not an A, but it's something. So the moment you talk negatively to yourself, I used to have that like a lot back in high school. I used to have like a lot of negative self-talk to myself. I'd be like, why are you even doing the speech? Like it's not worth it. I was always punished for not speaking English during school hours. So like those kind of things would like kill my, in a way it was supposed to build me, but I'd end up saying, but then why did you do that? Why couldn't you just speak English? Why, and I think I didn't speak English because I was still learning the language that was just commonly used there, and I didn't know it that well. So the English was bad, but the other language was more bad. So I had to like set my priorities were in the right direction, but it was conflicting with the school regulations and whatnot. But had I not done that, I feel like I would have learned a lot. A lot could have been accomplished. A lot of people have that, and if you do, please stop it. it's now time to say, I can do this, I'm able to do this. There's no such thing as can't, because you just have to remove the can't. It's not impossible, because the word itself, it says I'm possible, if you like scramble it properly. Like, you need to start telling yourself that you're beautiful, you accept yourself. And believe me, those affirmations of every day, you're gonna get like far. You're gonna get far. Like, literally, you're gonna get far. So another thing I've noticed is that obviously all of us have role models, and normally they're in the entertainment business. I'm not saying all of them, because some people would say my role model is my mom, and your mom is not really like in the entertainment business. But what I'm trying to say is our role model play a huge role, and by a huge role, I mean a huge role in who we are, like how we walk, how we talk, how we see things, our views, our political views, and other things, you know. What happens when that role model changes? And you should know that they're not gonna explain their experiences to you, you know. I know a few people, especially in the entertainment industry, a few people would say you wouldn't get in if you're dark, if you're like me. I'm very dark. So we find a lot of people trying to fit in, you know. The likes of shows. I'm sure that it's from where I come from. She made good music. Like, believe it or not, she made good music, and she was like the talk of town back then when I was so young, you know. She didn't have big boobs, big butt, big anything, you know. But after that, career kind of like was almost selling away, because she was getting older and she had kids at that time. She decided to bleach her skin. I remember there was a cover that said she was doing that because she wanted to feel beautiful. She was beautiful. She didn't have the big boobs. We still listen to her music. I mean, she didn't need to have all of that in order for us to listen to the music. So she came out and spoke publicly about it, and said, I wanted to look beautiful, you know. But now that I think about it, there are a number of other like celebrities who, I don't know, who did the whole bleaching thing. And I personally, I'm not throwing any shade. I personally feel like it's a way of fitting into the industry. That's why they're saying you can't make it if you're dark, you know. The likes of Bonang Mateba, she already, like, she was darker when she was doing was it live on SABC1, but she went on and, like, you know, and the moment she bleached, everybody, she went big. She's even in the US now. So I mean, duh. You know, that means Vele, you have to, like, you know, be a bit lighter. And there's Kanyumbao has been, she's an actress. She's somebody that I used to look up to, like, literally. Like, she's one person. She had a lot of drama back when she was young, but she didn't let that get her down, you understand? So in a way, she also bleached her skin. She's bigger now, I guess. She's older, she's wiser. And, you know, all I'm saying is that I'm not judging. I'm just saying, don't ever feel like you have to change yourself in order to fit in. You understand? That just is another thing that adds to your, like, lack of confidence. Because the moment you bleach your skin, it's not like you can go back just like that. I don't know if you can even go back. You know, it's something that I think a lot of people stay with, and I think there are a lot of things that you have to go through, like, I don't know, a lot of money, you don't have to go through all of that. Yes, they had their reasons, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't feel like they need to explain themselves to us and tell us, Guti, I did this because of this and that, you know. It's just a matter of, I'm doing this because it feels right to me. So if when you feel like you need to fit in and you need to do that, that's wrong. That's not how it works. You need to do it because you want to and you're ready to, and you know, Guti, it's a right to you, like just in there, in your heart, in your mind. You don't have conflicts with anything. And remember, it cannot change, guys. You cannot just go from white to black the other day to new to maroon the other day. No, these are not moods. This is like how we view you out here. So, I've heard of the saying that behind every successful man, there's a woman. But have you heard of the quote that says, behind every successful woman, there is another woman plotting the downfall of the successful woman? Or have you ever heard of the behind every heartbroken woman, there's another woman who caused the heartbreak? No, right? No, that's just something that I came up with. What I'm trying to put out there is that we women are the reason some of us don't make it out there. Just because she's pretty enough, she doesn't deserve that position. There's this other article that I recently read. It said a friend, apparently, it said a friend, I don't know where I got it. It says a friend killed a friend because the other friend got a promotion. Killed, like literally killed, not as in like tried. No, murdered the person, like really 6 feet under, just for a promotion. Like the jealousy that we have, I know it comes naturally, but it starts with you as a person. The moment you say to somebody, you look beautiful today, it doesn't even take a cent from you. I mean, like literally, it doesn't take a cent from you. It doesn't take anything from you. It doesn't take your soul. It doesn't kill you. The moment you say congratulations on your promotion and actually mean it, instead of trying to like be like, yeah, how did you get the promotion? Did you sleep with the boss? Those kind of, like, that's not gonna help you in any way. That's not helping you grow, and that's not really like putting the person down in any way. You understand? So it starts with you. The moment you say, oh, your crown is like a bit, it's kind of like falling, let me fix it for you, and you fix it, it doesn't kill you. It won't take you 2 minutes to even do that. Guys, no. I don't understand how us women are like always bitter about other people's success. You can learn from it. Literally, if your friend gets a job, how did you get the job? What can I do? Do you know of anybody who's looking? Obviously, her getting the job opens her up to other connections or other networks that could help you be the person that you want to be. You might not get into like the position that you want to be immediately, but it can get you somewhere. How did you do it? How did you like be so graceful about like the whole thing and not try to like throw it in his face? And guys, if you're successful, be humble. There's not I know women, there's this other time I was talking to a friend of mine. She's like, the problem with women in the 50-50 thing is that the moment the woman is in power, they don't see the guys anymore. It's like they don't care. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is how you take it. Like, you can't just want to be in power all the time, knowing very well good you're working with people. When you work with people, you need to humble yourself. There's nothing wrong with being humble. Just a bit. Just a bit. You won't die. It's not like you're going to die tomorrow and, if you don't do it. Guys, let's learn to be humble. Humbleness helps. It helps big time. So let's learn to be humble so that people don't be bitter and about our success. Now I don't know, maybe a few of you know, I went to a girls only boarding school. So I know the whole fake friends thing. It's something that's just been there in my eyes. It was portrayed for like 5 years, because like I went to high school is just like 5 years. So like it's a problem and a half. Like, I know it sounds as if there's no such thing as fake friends. You just have to know where you fit. You don't know anything about that. I do. People will be your friend and still stab you in the back like that. Like, I was in certain situations where I feel like I shouldn't have chosen, but because I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to, be that girl, I had to like make my choices. But I remember I had like I had in grade 9 now, 2012. I remember I had two friends who were like going at it about who should get a certain boy. Like, literally, who should get a certain boy. I was so conflicted because it was not even my problem. I don't understand how it came to be my problem even. But I ended up saying, you know what, you guys have to decide if you guys want to be my friends differently, individually. I'm not saying I'm gonna be mad at this one, and I'm not saying I'm gonna be mad at this one. I'm gonna talk to you both. It's just how you interact with me that's gonna make me see if you like the realist friend. Cause it's not my problem. Just because we were all friends and now you guys decide to split doesn't mean we have to pick sides. I mean, literally. So I wouldn't recommend taking my daughter. I don't have one yet, but in the near future I wouldn't recommend taking my daughter to a girls only boarding school. Reason being is it doesn't it doesn't no matter how tough you are, it doesn't matter. No matter how good you are, you're just not good enough, especially to other girls. I was quite a tough cookie before I went there, but it took me like 3 years for my confidence to go from 100 to a zero. Okay, not really a zero, but like to something like that, maybe to 10%. Because every single I almost swear. Every single day something happens, and it's not nice to be there because you're always reminded. I remember it starts off the moment you get there. The first week, we're already competing against each other. We all want to be part of the school magazine, the school newspaper. The librarian, sorry, the librarian, the class rep, part of the sports team, part of this, part of that, part of this, part of that. The competition was just tough from the word go. We already competing against each other, and I personally feel like we shouldn't be doing that, because the people who are like holding these are just school learners, as we are. They just seniors. But I feel like the moment you start competing with other people, that's you starting to compare yourself with other people. I normally made it to the top maybe 5, but I never really got something that showed Uti, I'm good enough. And that made me feel like maybe you're not good enough, and that self-talk comes back and you're like, yeah, maybe I'm not good enough. What was I even doing, So another thing is, I remember during our RCL election time, we'd like canvas and like say our speeches. There was a time where I got like 3 votes out of 410 people. That put a dent, like that was a serious dent to my confidence as a whole. Like, that was a serious dent from being number 2 most of the time to being number last. That was me saying, you know what, this is not me. And there was a time where we were just in class saying random things, and if you in a group of people, if the group that's saying random things and you don't fit in, believe me, they won't laugh. And I was the only one they didn't laugh to. And I wanted to be like, I'm sad, but I was like, you know what, you guys are just nobodies to me. And I still know those girls, and I don't like them even up till this day. And I'm not saying when they two recently graduated, and I did congratulate them. I mean, it's a big achievement and I have nothing against that. They are going further, but it doesn't mean good I could sit with them and like have a serious or a genuine talk with them. No, that's not me. I just eliminate myself out of equations that I find awkward, and that's one of them, because eventually I'll say, you know, you did this and this and this and you never really apologized for it, and I don't feel like I have a reason to say something to you, you know. And I was put in a situation whereby like all of us were there, but I didn't want to talk to them. They would say something, unless they say, Abigail, what's your take on a certain something, that's when I'm gonna answer. Jay, that's just not me, you know, because that killed me that day. It killed me. So in my grade 10, I decided to enter for the pageant at school, and I did not win, but that was me putting myself in the spot. Like, I had a killer body, I could, like, you know, it didn't kill me that much. It was one of those situations, oh, you didn't win, but I managed to beat the other girls who were not even in the competition. I told myself that, and I know that's wrong, but myself, I've always been negative about how I look. But that year I decided to, you know what, no, Lucy, come back to your senses. There's a lot that you've accomplished already. So I entered the following year. I managed to scoop first princess, so it was not so bad. I had a point to prove to myself, you know. And that was when I started to realize, no, it's not the other people who have problems with you. You have a problem with yourself. The moment you talk negatively to yourself, you won't be able to accomplish anything. And that was me. High school made a dent to my confidence. In less than 5 years, it took like them 3 years, from 2011 to 2013, for me to realize, you know what, I'm lacking confidence. And up till this day, I'm still working on it, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's it about self-love, y'all, and I hope you guys take those things seriously, because they affect like 6 out of 10 women in South Africa, or any other world, that is. So if your daughter is going through a certain phase, tell them it's okay. They can go through that. Be with them, hold their hand. If your sister or your sibling is going through all of that, don't add on the stress. Just be there for them. And I love you all, guys. Please do subscribe and leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this whole situation. I love you guys.